Because I had us on mute. That's why. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Who Invited Her? We are San Diego's LGBTQ pop culture podcast. I'm your host, Tony, and I'm here with my other host.
I am Daddy Bear Eric.
Yes, you guys. Eric is back this week.
Yes. It feels like it's been 84 years.
Since he's been here. Where have you been? What's been going on?
Well, I got COVID as well. So
Actually, we should talk about it because we got COVID the same exact time.
Yes.
Literally the same time.
We don't really know where, because it was the holiday weekend, 4th of July, somehow.
Yes. And
my
shorts are short today. If you're watching us on YouTube.
Little booty shorts.
I know.
Giving a show.
I'm going to cross my legs like a lady. I know. They're going to be like, my balls are going to fall out or something. But where did we get it from?
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't either.
Just life. I mean, everyone's just getting it right now. So.
It was the first time I had gotten COVID since COVID started.
Yeah.
I was really sick for like 3 days, and then it started getting better. But it sucked.
Yeah.
COVID's no joke.
Yeah. I just had a really bad headache and was like,
well, you've
foggy.
had it before.
I've had it before. I didn't have any like sick symptoms. I didn't have a runny nose or cough or anything.
Yeah.
And then somehow my amazing boyfriend Caesar did not catch it at all, even though he was with me that entire weekend. I don't know how he didn't get it.
Why? How? How is that even possible?
I don't know. We tested him multiple times and like negative the entire time.
I hate you.
I know, right?
That's not fair.
He's never had it. Like he's one of those like miracle people.
Maybe he's like immune.
Yeah.
We need to take his blood and make that. You know what? Caesar's probably going to turn into our cocktail boyfriend. Like how you started on the show, remember?
Yes.
But we are live today, which we're going to start doing again.
Yeah.
And we didn't put it out there. So if anybody happens to stumble on the show live on YouTube at Who Invited Her podcast, actually, Caesar's going to be running the comments in the room. And so he'll let us know what you guys say, and we can interact with you guys if you watch us live. If not, we'll be live next week and we'll probably post on Instagram. But so COVID happened.
Yes.
And then we didn't even cover Pride because we had Pride in between.
That was the week after. So, or no, there was in between. I went to San Francisco for work. That was a whirlwind of a work trip.
Yeah.
Which I tested negative, so I was able to go.
Yeah, you didn't get COVID as bad as I did.
Yeah.
Because I was literally still testing negative. And I still testing positive. Sorry. I tested negative. I think it was the Thursday before Pride.
Oh.
Yeah. Is when I first started.
I was already negative a whole week before.
Yeah.
On Sunday.
Yeah, because we had talked and you were like, no, I'm good. I was like, shut up, bitch.
And then, so I literally landed from San Francisco and like got off the runway and went into Pride. It was a whirlwind of a week.
Wait. You got off of and then Pride was like that day, Saturday.
Like I went, got a haircut, and we like got ready for Pride. Oh my God. Yes.
So let's get into Pride because we haven't covered Pride in San Diego. So I guess, you know what? We're going to talk about it now. Pride was on Saturday, and it was like how it normally is for Pride. It felt like Pride was fully back. Everybody was out. Everything was busy. I mean, I didn't see you guys till halfway through the day.
Saturday, yes.
Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah, midday Saturday.
I didn't go out all week leading up to Pride, which is very odd for me because usually we're like everywhere.
Yeah.
But I was sick.
Well, I wasn't here, so I couldn't go out either.
It was a bizarre Pride for me this year.
Yeah.
It felt really quiet and mellow.
Ours wasn't.
I know yours wasn't. Well, I was getting over from being sick, so
yeah. You got
so let's run down Pride. So Saturday, I ended up meeting with Firefighter Steven, and we met in the morning, and then we walked the parade route, like up until Flicks on University. For those of you in San Diego, there wasn't a lot of people at 10 when the parade started. I was like, is everybody still hungover? Because where I live, I could hear the block party on Thursday and Friday that was happening because Got Mick was there.
Yeah.
Who was the other one? Got Mick and...
Was it Violet Chachki?
Yeah, that one.
I think so.
Really like her.
Yeah.
Violet Chachki. And a bunch of... So I'm like sitting home like being responsible, not being around people because I had COVID.
Knitting.
Yeah, knitting. And it was really quiet, and all of a sudden, I just hear "Let the rain." No, wait, what's the Lizzie McGuire song?
That is Lizzie
Let
McGuire.
the rain. No, that's Hillary Duff. It was the Lizzie McGuire song. What is it?
I know what you're
Hey
talking.
now, hey now. I just hear coming in through my living room window, and I'm like,
Steven?
what? Steven is haunting me. It was literally from the block party.
Oh, so
And
it wasn't
no,
Steven.
they were playing Hillary Duff, Lizzie McGuire at the block party here in Hillcrest. And then after that, it was just a slew of classic gay 90s, early 2000 and all that stuff. It was so funny.
I love it.
But Saturday, went through the parade. It wasn't that busy. We walked. We saw some people. We walked by Rich's and saw Jazz, who's been on the show, said hi to her, took pictures and all that. She was even like, it's not that busy. What's going on? I'm like, maybe people aren't out yet.
Yeah.
And then by like 11, 12, it got real busy. Like that's when people, it seemed like, were coming out, and like the parade started. Of course, Dykes on Bikes opened the parade, which is like a staple for the San Diego Pride Parade.
Yeah.
And then after that, we ended up at Flicks, and that's where we met you.
That's where we met you.
Even Flicks wasn't that busy.
Yeah, Flicks was not that busy. Yeah. I have a theory that I think because they have the festival back this year, that it kind of was able to have more people dispersed, and not where last year there wasn't as many things to do. So all the bars were like jam packed. So I think because there was more things, there was more people spread out.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I think, with the festival and even the parade, it was nice because I was very concerned about, monkeypox, of course,
right?
COVID. I'm like, I do not want to get this again before our trip. It was nice, and then we ended up, of course, at Moe's. We had to stop by Moe's, and Megan was there, and
yes,
it was a good time.
Yeah,
and then I was home by 3.
Yeah, yeah.
I was home by 3, took a nap, then met Miss Megs out at Inside Out.
Right.
Like 5. And we stayed out for a while,
Yeah.
and then I was home by 7 on Saturday for Pride. I was actually really tired because I think I still had a little bit of brain fog left over from COVID, which was weird.
Yeah.
How was your Saturday? Because we saw each other and partied with each other at Moe's, and then what did you and Caesar do?
Saturday was great. Caesar and I ended up walking the parade with the Latinx Coalition, and I've never walked any Pride before. I've always kind of just seen it from the sidelines, and it was really special. I actually got a little teary-eyed at moments where people were just cheering Caesar and I holding hands, and it like just...
Wait a minute, how did that feel?
I actually like started to tear up a little. I'm gonna tear up again now.
No,
like,
you go cry. You go cry. You go cry.
Okay, well now we need
not that.
Well, it's definitely not gonna happen now.
It would have been funny if you just when we were kids with my sister, she was such a baby when she was little. She's gonna kill me for telling this story. We used to, and she had 3 older brothers, so we used to go 1, 2, 3, cry, and then she'd go. And we're like 1, 2, 3, cry, and then she'd start crying.
I could see you guys doing that. I could see that.
I'm gonna do that to you every time you guys say
1, 2, 3,
1, 2, 3, cry, cry. Where did you guys end up going after Moe's?
So after Moe's, we came back home, took a nap. And then, we took a disco nap, and then we went to Bear Night and Music Box.
How was that?
We had the greatest time. We have this funny story. So Caesar brought this really cool jacket. He had just bought it that week. It has like fringe. It's really awesome. And we go in and I couldn't find a coat check. So we go to the second floor. Couldn't find a coat check. We go to the third floor.
Wait, the second floor, where was it at?
Music Box.
Where's Music Box?
It's kind of Little Italy, Gaslamp, downtownish area.
It's not where Spin is.
No, it's not where Spin is. Yeah, I don't remember what street exactly it's on.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like a little more north of Gaslamp.
Okay.
And so we're on the third floor. We've asked like 5 employees at this point where coat check is, and they've all said, I don't think there is one here. So we go to the first floor because we get there super early. I didn't have tickets, so I wanted to make sure we can get in. So we didn't want to wait in line. So we sit down on the go-go box and take a photo together. And he tags Strawberry and says, it would be so great if Strawberry was here to like check this jacket. And 30 seconds later, he gets a message back that's reposted, and she's like, I'm right here. And it was literally right next to the entrance in this back corner. She's like, Strawberry
I can just see that.
doing coat check. And I was like, just to let you know, I've asked 5 employees and they all think you're not here. So you might want to have them
check on that. Yeah. She's like,
Yeah.
bitch, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm right here. How did you miss me?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my God,
So,
that's funny.
yeah. It was
So how did you feel? Okay, going into Pride,
Yeah.
especially after having COVID and
Yeah.
with all the monkeypox, how did you guys feel about being in a crowded room with a bunch of sweaty men?
I made a promise to myself that I actually did not keep. I have to be honest.
Why? What
I made
did
a
you-
promise to not take my shirt off while I was at Bear Night.
And you did.
And I kind of did a little bit. Yeah.
What do you mean
I
a
know.
little bit? You
Well,
pulled it up over just to the boobs. But the boobs were protected.
I still had my leather vest on, so it wasn't fully shirtless, but it was more shirtless than I
shirtless
probably.
enough.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
So-
You know what I did? While you were at Bear Night?
What'd you do?
I was getting stoned out of my fucking mind for
Oh,
the
I
first
thought you were gonna
time.
say getting slammed out of your mind.
I wish. God, any takers? Jesus Christ. I'm going through a dry spell like nobody's
Really?
business.
Why is that?
By choice.
Let's break this down. Why is that?
I hate you. I hate when you're on the show. No, I'm kidding. By choice, because we have a big trip. Like we've been saying, we're going to
Yes.
Croatia, Eric and I,
Yeah.
I'm going for 17 days. You get there a little bit after
I think
do.
I'm 12 or 13 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this trip. But I am not going to get COVID. I'm not going to get monkeypox. I don't want to get anything before the trip.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of just staying away.
Yeah.
And doing my own thing.
I get it.
Do you
I
know what?
get it.
Because the trip wasn't. It was a
I
bit of a
know.
pricey
I
trip.
know.
So I'm like, I have.
I've like looked at it. I was like, ooh, have I spent this much on a vacation
know.
on myself before?
But it's gonna be a very.
I know.
fun
I'm
trip.
so excited.
And we will have content going out while we're on this trip. So.
I don't know if we'll have Wi-Fi to upload it, but we'll have it.
We'll have it. What about Sunday? How was Sunday?
So Sunday was really great. We're
Still talking Pride, by the way.
Pride, yeah. We wanted to mellow out and relax a little bit. So we got up and like super late and we went to the festival on Sunday and we kind of had some food and hung out and saw the vendors, but we ended up at the Latin stage and we saw Chichi Fuera was the main host of the Latin stage, and then she had Barbie Z and the Barbie Z Dollhouse come out and perform. So we saw Snowflake perform, we saw Kevy Kev.
Nice.
The twins performed, Catalina and Isabella.
yeah.
And so it was really cool. Like there was a moment where they kind of did a Encanto themed where they did 3 songs.
Oh, I saw that on
each
Insta.
queen did a song
Yeah.
from it, which was really cool. And they were trying to say like, drag queens can be great for kids as well. So it was kind of that and that whole push.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah,
I love that it was a lot of local queens, especially a lot of our Latina queens here in
Yeah.
San Diego. That is amazing.
yeah.
Because, like we had talked about on the last, if you guys had not listened to our last episode with Shelby, the psychic, so good. But we were talking about how San Diego, we just have such an underground. I think we have some amazing drag talent here, and I'm glad that it just stays kind of underground.
Yeah.
Even though that's selfish, but
Yeah, and I made me proud that we have so many Latin queens that we could have
a lot.
an entire Latin show on its own stage. I'm like, yes,
That's
this is so
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
So it was
How
fun.
was the festival? Because this is the first festival back since COVID.
I've actually never been to San Diego's festival before this one, so I don't know how to compare it, but it was great. I had a really good time. It was fun.
I honestly didn't recognize any of the performers, like the headliners. I didn't recognize any of them this year.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
didn't
"Oh,
either.
yeah.
I didn't spend much time at the other stages. I know Kixie performed.
Yeah.
At the other one, I missed that show, but
So my Sunday fun day for Pride wasn't as eventful as I took the kid Melvin, the kid. He was off that day. For you guys listening,
Do
it's
they
my
know what the
friend.
kid
No,
is?
there's a friend.
Can
No,
you
I have a very
explain
good
it?
friend. He's 26. He literally could be my child. Like I could have had him at 19 and he's my child. And people think, well, there is a rumor going around that he is my biological child. I will not deny or confirm that. But so I took him out on Saturday with Christina, Chris, and firefighter Steven. We all met at the loft. And it was very mellow and
Nice.
chill. And then people started showing up once they woke up and took care of the hangover.
Yeah.
We went there, then we stopped at number 1 for a little bit because we have to, and then we ended up at PAX. And let me tell you, PAX was crowded. There was a
on
lot of
Sunday.
We were
Wow.
there for a while at PAX, and there was just so many people, so many drunk people. But it ended up being a good time. We had a good time.
Yeah.
It was a fun Sunday Pride, and I was home by 8, which I
Yeah.
love because I work the next day because I'm an old lady.
We were done by 7. And
Yeah.
in fact, I didn't even drink on Sunday.
Which,
I know, right?
what? Wait,
Yeah.
where's my? Oh, it's not even hooked up. God damn it! I'll take care of that during the break. But anyways,
Yeah.
so that was I was watching other people's stories and stuff. People were going insane for Pride this year, and good for them. You know what I noticed? This is what I was saying. I noticed it was when I was out on Sunday and Saturday, I didn't see a lot of locals.
Yeah, you're right.
I saw there. It seemed like the majority of people really partying it up for Pride here in San Diego this year was the 20-something-year-olds,
Yeah.
and a lot of out-of-towners.
Yeah, and even younger than 20-something,
Yeah.
like 19, 18.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
those
for
kids
sure.
were out at the festival and at the parade route.
Yeah.
Which is great seeing
Yeah, I
the next
love that.
generation. I mean, it's so nice. But for me, it was a perfect Pride. It was mellow. It was nice. I got to see my friends. I didn't get stupid drunk and wake up with regret the next day like I normally do. Like there was that one Pride. I literally didn't remember how I got home.
Oof.
But I remember waking up with all my windows and doors open, and and I was butt ass naked on the floor with a half-eaten burrito on my chest. Don't know how I got there. Don't know where the burrito came from. But yeah,
Oh, I get it.
I
Yeah,
know.
no, I didn't have the shakes this year. It was
you
good.
didn't have the shakes. She wasn't scratching. She didn't have. I do want to say because the week before Pride, we were supposed to have Disco Dolly back on as our
Oh,
pre-Pride
right.
show, but we
Yeah.
had COVID, so we
Yeah.
got to reschedule Miss Disco Dolly because I can't wait till she's back on the
She's
show.
great.
That was a fun episode with Disco.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. The other thing we should talk about is monkeypox.
Yeah.
Because everybody is still. It's a
Yeah.
big thing.
It's happening right
it's
now.
It's happening.
Yeah.
So
and
I want to get your take. What is your whole feeling on the monkeypox and what's been going on with it and all of that?
I'm very disappointed in our larger, federal, the World Health Organization. It's doing a little bit better than the CDC. The CDC is really handling it like it's a gay disease, which really frustrates me because it's not. And it's definitely, it's hit our community first, but it's going to hit the other community, and it's going to be hugely detrimental to so many other populations. I'm worried about the lower income community who doesn't get time off. You're 4 weeks out of work that you cannot go into an office or your location.
So
I'm
right
so
now,
worried about them.
We're in California, and here in California, we get the COVID pay, which is 7 days pay, which I didn't even know existed until I got COVID.
Yeah.
And my boss at work, I tried to work because I work from home. Deathly sick the Friday of the week I actually was, and I tried to work, and my boss was like, no, you have 7 days. You are not coming to work. Clock out, go to bed.
Yeah.
I had no idea we
Yeah.
had that here in California.
Yeah, and I worry for people that don't have the ability to work
Yeah.
remotely, and
Yeah.
what does that financially look for them? So that makes me really worried.
Especially because what's it called? The recovery, 4 weeks,
4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you get monkeypox.
Yeah, it's bad, and it's painful, and it's uncomfortable, and
Yeah.
so that makes me worried. We definitely don't have enough vaccines as a country and as a county. I will say, so I got my vaccine this week. The county of San Diego for the vaccines that they do have, they're doing a great job of handing them out, of going through the process. They were so organized and on top of it. And I know that that's a lot of work to pull together really quickly. So I'm proud of how San Diego's handling it. I wish we had a lot more vaccines to give out.
I do too. I mean, I got my vaccine on Monday, and the way that happened, so they did a big what's it called? They had a vaccine party, not party, but they gave out a couple weeks ago, and I had tried to get an appointment, but they put me on a wait list. So this time around, I got actually a call from the county saying, hey, we're doing another vaccine. We're going to be giving them out. You were on the wait list. You're one of the first ones we're making an appointment for. So they went ahead and I guess contacted everybody on the wait list and scheduled appointments for them first.
Yeah.
And then opened it up to the general public.
Yeah. And last I heard, we had 2,200 vaccines and everything's been given out, so they're waiting for the next round. So I'm hoping.
And the unfortunate thing is it's only going out to gay men because that's how how do you feel about that? Because
it's both good. I'm torn. It's both good and bad. The good is that it's going to the population that is in need of it more because it is spreading faster through that community.
Yeah.
It just happens to be that way. It's bad because it feeds to the media and to people that it is a gay disease. Yeah. And it's not. And
that's what scares me, because once it starts hitting the general public population, which it already is, by the way, it's just gonna
explode. Yeah.
And I hate saying it, but it does remind me a lot of what happened with the AIDS epidemic when it first came out, because I was in high school when it was hitting. Like, I remember it, and I remember very clearly, and I remember how scary it was. This is not the same disease, but it's very reminiscent the way it's being handled.
Yeah. And
to me, at least.
And also, I think it's scary that it's not as bad anymore. But in the beginning, it was almost talked about as a STD or STI, which it's not. It's not even a sexual disease. You can get it by just touch, or even just being in close contact of breathing someone's air. Granted, that's much harder to get it that way, but it's just so there's. I think as a society and as a country, we have a lot to still figure out about it. And
the thing that really gets me with it is going on social media, especially Twitter, and seeing how much homophobia is still in this country.
Yeah.
After we're in 2022 and I just surprised. Yeah. I'm just like,
and then all the anti-vaxxers join in, and
Jesus Christ, everybody has to have an opinion about
the
something.
funny one I heard, which is not funny, is that the K is silent in monkeypox as moneypox, because it's just the government trying to get money off of vaccine. And I was like, that's kind of funny, but no, but that's not happening.
I do want to give I said it on the last episode, for people here in San Diego, or not just in San Diego, but if you're looking for really good information on monkeypox, go follow Dr. Carlton. It's Dr. full word spelled out Carlton. He is like on top, and he's been a past guest of ours, on top of the monkeypox, getting information out to the community about vaccinations, even answering people's questions. Yeah. And he has been making the rounds on other podcasts, on the news, all of that.
Yeah. That's he's doing where such I found my info to get my vaccine.
Me too. A lot of mine too.
Yeah. Because it wasn't available. I mean, the information our county was scrambling to get it together, so there wasn't any way to disseminate it. So I'm glad that was there.
Yeah, and I'm glad that San Diego County is doing the best they can with the resources that we have. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was impressed by their station that they had set up, and it was
really quick, really fast. You get in, get out.
Yeah, they knew exactly what they were doing there, so I was happy about that.
They also provide. This is what I thought was interesting too. So you get your monkeypox, and they're like, "So you haven't been vaccinated for meningitis? We're giving you that too."
Oh,
they were just like, "What haven't you been vaccinated for? Let's get it all done right now."
I don't remember them asking that.
They did for me. Which is weird.
I know I have mine, but
I didn't. Yeah. So I was like, okay, totally, let's do it.
Yeah. It's good.
But you guys, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk Drag Race finale. Beyonce's new album. We have thoughts. And the new show, Uncoupled, which hit a little too close to home for me. And a bunch more. But you guys, we'll be right back. God damn it. Hey, everybody, we're back for break. Oh, I didn't hook that up. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Yes, we're back from break. We're going to get into fun stuff now. You know what I did want to talk about really quick? So with monkeypox coming out and all that.
Yeah.
So what the kid Malvolio, that's what I call him, Malvolio. For all of you theater nerds, that's from Twelfth Night, Shakespeare's Twelfth Night.
I don't like Shakespeare.
Why?
I could not understand what Midnight Summer Dream was about in English.
Midnight Summer,
whatever.
Midsummer's Night
I'm
Dream.
PTSD from it. It was so bad.
What? I love that show. And the Old Globe Theater here in San Diego is doing it for Shakespeare in the Park this summer. I cannot wait to see it.
English 1B. I had an A in this class.
Yeah.
I could not get through it. I didn't want to write the paper. I calculated it out. I would get a B- by not writing the paper and just not doing it.
You lazy.
And my teacher pulls me aside and goes, well, that's nice that you think that, but we have a word minimum requirement. So if you don't turn into something, you haven't written enough words and I can still fail you. And I was like, you bitch. So I turned in a paper. I got a D- on it. And she said, I'm very disappointed in you, is what it said next to my D-. I'm triggered by Shakespeare.
Okay.
She majored in Shakespeare. She loved Shakespeare. I ruined her.
I have a story about Shakespeare. So we'll get back to the whole Melvin thing, but anyways, I have to share this. Back in the day when I used to do theater, right?
Yeah.
And which you know about me. I did a production of Much Ado About Nothing, and it was like really low budge. It was like embarrassing low budge. So I play Baraccio, this character, and it wasn't a big role, but most of his scenes was with another character, literally for one of the shows. And one of my acting mentors came to this particular show night, where the guy that I had all my scenes with, literally maybe a half an hour before the show, maybe a little more, was in the hospital.
Whoa.
So he was not going to do the show. We had no understudies. So the director was like, can you turn your guys' scenes into monologues? And I was like, I literally have a half an hour before we go on the show, before we start the show, right? And I'm not in till a couple scenes later.
Yeah.
So I was like literally panicking. I was like going to shit my pants.
I thought for a second he was going to say, can you act out both parts and just turn
I
and
have
talk
a story
to
about that too. Remind me after this. You're going to kill me. This is so stupid. But anyways, so I was like, sure. So I was going through the lines in my head. I'm like, how am I going to do this? You know how I'm going to do it? I'm going to get stinking drunk before the scenes, because in the scenes I'm supposed to be drunk, and I was like, fuck it. So backstage, when it was in La Jolla, at this park in La Jolla, and I remember there was like a store or something, so I ran to the store before the show. God, I think it was whiskey that I drank, like one of the little like pocket things.
Yeah.
Literally downed it. Was pretty toasty by the scene. I went in and I think I got most of the lines right, turned the scene into a monologue, stinking drunk, where the audience in the front row could smell the alcohol off of me. After the show, my mentor came up, the woman that she was one of my acting coaches. She came up and she said, I heard what happened before the show, and I have to tell you, that was good on you. You made that so believable, that how drunk you were, and that the character, and that you were able to tie all the lines together and make it cohesive and make the story move. And I was like, girl, I wanted to tell her, like, I don't remember.
All three of you are saying the same thing to me.
Literally. So you know how you had just said that, oh, you're going to play both parts.
Yeah.
So back in high school, this is so embarrassing. I can't believe I'm going to show this story. And at my first drama class I ever took in high school, we had to prepare a monologue, right?
Yeah.
And it could have been from any play, any movie, whatever. I, of course, being a little queer kid that I was, that I didn't know at the time I was queer, I was going to do a scene from Beaches. If you're fans of this podcast, you know my obsession with Beverly Beaches. For all of you who know the movie Beaches, I was going to do the flamingo scene where she and Barbara Hershey, where they had a long, like they hadn't talked in years, and this is the first time they're seeing each other, and it's two people in the scene. I literally did do parts on stage. I did this, like da 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 as Bette Midler, and then I turned and talked to myself like this as Barbara Hershey, and then back and forth. And I remember now looking at my acting teacher doing it, and he went like this. His name is Mr. Hawthorne. He went like this. And just looked at.
And for those who aren't watching right
On
now,
YouTube.
he basically took his hand and covered his entire mouth and looked downwards.
And then afterwards, his feedback was that he said, "That was an interesting choice." And now looking back, I'm like, what a fucking idiot I was.
I love like the innocence of it all.
I thought it was amazing. Can you believe that shit?
That's awesome.
Oh my god! But anyways, back to the monkeypox.
Tell me the story of Melvin.
So he hasn't been looking at pictures of monkeypox. I didn't know why. So the other day I showed him. He literally went into like a panic.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea he has that phobia. What is it called? Trypophobia.
It's the fear of
trypophobia,
holes, right?
Yes. And I didn't know this was a thing. If any of you out there have it, I'm so sorry. Apparently, the monkeypox, the way it forms on the body, is very triggering for people who have this phobia. And I had no idea, Melvin.
It's triggering for people who don't have the
phobia.
It's
so gross. He literally like was having a reaction to like it was weird. So I feel really bad for everybody who has those weird phobias like that.
I know. We live in such a weird world.
We do.
Can we talk about something happier?
You know what was weird this week? Beyonce's new album, Renaissance, came out this week.
Weird.
Do you have thoughts? I have thoughts. I listened to it.
I have
I tried to listen. Okay, go. What is your take on Beyonce's new album, Renaissance, which dropped, I wanted to say, last night?
No, Thursday night. Thursday night onto Friday. There's a couple songs I really like. I think it is a fun album. If I look at it deeper, I think it's tone deaf. I'm gonna be flat out and say I think the message and the content is tone deaf for the environment we're in right now.
How so? All the Beyonce fans are going to come for you.
I think the things of like good vibes only and
why good vibes only?
Because we've just lost so many civil rights right now.
Yes.
We have just.
I'm glad you're bringing this up.
The world. I mean, we've gone through a pandemic,
and looks like we're
facing another one. I mean, COVID keeps reformulating itself into something newer. We're about to hit a recession. This whole idea. Even the first song I had a huge amount of issue with because it was about the Great Resignation. It was about like, I'm going to go quit my job. It felt like it was 3 or 4 months too late. And the message was right when we were in the middle of COVID. But now as the economy's changing, like people don't go quit your job right now. Like make sure you got a backup. Like that's terrible advice.
I agree with that.
And it feels very fake and phony as somebody. Okay, I'm going to say it. She's been a millionaire her entire adult life. She's worth $500 million. How can you relate to my life at all? And it's insulting. It's hugely insulting, and it feels like it's pandering. and it doesn't feel authentic, and I don't like it. So
I will agree. I kind of got that vibe too, especially when that song came out. I was like, wait a minute, you're rich as fuck.
Yeah, and rich your entire adult life, a millionaire since
you
18.
could quit a job and be okay.
Yeah.
Most of America can't.
Yeah.
They're living paycheck to paycheck. Don't go advise them to quit a job.
Yeah. And 6 months ago, we had that opportunity, but it felt like this took too long to come out, and now it's already missed its mark, and it feels the timing is off. And yes, even some of the other messages of like good vibes only and trying to be positive, but like we just lost abortion. Like I can't, like, no, we don't
need good vibes. We need fighting vibes.
I almost feel like we needed her last album right now.
Oh yeah.
We need to be mad. We need to stand up to the system, and like we need to protect ourselves. I feel like that album is more relevant today than it was even then.
What do you think of the album being in three acts, like they say? Because this was Act 1,
right.
So Act 2, we don't know what Act 2 is going to be.
We have no idea. I don't know. I just
and it's called the Renaissance,
right? Which I have issue because Renaissance isn't necessarily about a person; it's about a whole group of people. And are we going through one right now? Like, we don't really know until you look back, and I hope we are, but I
don't. It doesn't feel like it.
I don't know.
The Renaissance usually is growth, and
from a group of people, not just a person. And so
this is my take on this album. I listened to it. First of all, I have no issues with Beyonce. I've loved her from the first. I loved her early stuff. I thought it was great. The fandom behind Beyonce, just because it's Beyonce, I'm going to say this, and I know I'm going to get a lot of not people who agrees.
So hated.
Just because Beyonce did it doesn't mean it's automatically golden, not touchable, and it's the most amazing thing and life-changing thing in the world.
Agreed.
Granted, she has done amazing things for the queer community.
Yes.
Amazing things for the Black community, amazing things for women. Just because she puts out this album and it's Beyonce doesn't mean it's going to all be good. I listened to the whole album. I was like, there are a couple good beats. I love that this album is literally made for gay men and women.
Yeah, and it's love that. Great dance album. Like, I love
that she took influence from R&B, 70s, disco, funk, the 90s, all of that.
Ballroom.
Definitely Afro-funk, all of that. She took inspiration, and you can definitely hear it in the tracks, because there were some tracks that I was literally like, oh, legendary. I could hear them calling the ball right now to the track. And then there were other ones that felt a little generic to me. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
There were actually...
Where the lyric, when you listen to the lyrics, I'm like, this is coming from a woman of privilege who's trying to relate to people of non-privilege.
Yes.
So, and that's where it kind of got lost for me.
And for me, it feels insulting. I'm insulted by that. Like, so it's hard for me.
Not all of them
are like that.
No, not all of them are great. There are some really good beats on there.
Yeah.
But not all of them are great. And I what the fuck is happening?
You just turned into like Max Headroom, a 90s Pepsi commercial. What?
I have no idea what just happened, but we're still live streaming. So. Okay.
This is what happens when she doesn't take her medication. She starts
shaking.
She starts falling apart.
I think I unplugged something by accident. Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're still working. It's fine.
We're still working. For the most part.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You know what it is?
What?
It's the Beehive trying to take us down.
I know, fuckers.
They're hacking into us right now. We're like, they will not be able to speak like our queen like that.
We're going to take this podcast down.
We've been canceled. Sorry, Tony.
It's not the first time. Get in line, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but all in all, it's a decent album.
Yeah, I'll still go and dance to the songs. I'll still have a good time.
I do love the memes that have been coming out about the promo video, the promo photos with the horse, and they're like, P.F. Chang's all the gays. I'm like, oh, true.
So true. We do have one of those horses at our PF Chang's at Fashion Valley, don't we?
I think so.
I think we have the gold one here.
We have the gold?
I think some of them have the white one. I think we have the gold. I've actually been to that PF Chang's.
Which one is it? Where is it at?
At Fashion Valley Mall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's in the parking lot by the Container Store, which is one of my favorite stores in the world.
Should we? Okay, so Beyonce's album happened this week. Container Stores.
Yeah.
I love the Container Store.
Do you know what else happened in music this week?
What?
So I haven't seen it myself, but I was being told by one of our favorite friends of the show, Janika, that Bad Bunny did a concert in Puerto Rico that was a 4-hour long concert.
Shut up.
And it was TikTok went crazy over it. It actually
Bad Bunny's really good.
It actually overshadowed a lot of Beyonce stuff because it
I'm
happened
not
the
surprised.
same night.
You know, how would you categorize Bad Bunny's music? Is it more DJ?
Latin, R&B, hip hop?
I don't know why. Out of that type of, that's one of the only artists I really like. Out of that,
love his music.
Yeah.
I think it's so great. And I think Janika was also telling me he's the first Latin artist to have a song in Spanish to hit the number one chart, as a number one song in the US, with not just as a Latin artist, but as a Spanish song. So
I was like, what is that? That's Cesar. He's causing trouble in the background. Should we talk? Not to interrupt.
No.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Should we talk about Drag Race?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not even going to touch the music because it's going to blow this whole thing up. So last night was the finale of All Star 7, the Legends of Legends get stars and all that bullshit. We haven't really covered Drag Race at all this season.
No.
On the show, have we?
Not really.
Okay, what did you think? First, since we haven't talked about the season, then for all of you who have been living under a rock, it is All Star 7, right? 7?
Yes, 7, yeah.
And it is all winter season. So
Yeah.
all the queens performing or competing, I should say, have won Drag Race before.
Yep.
So the casting this season was impeccable.
Phenomenal.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say this was the best Drag Race season ever of all Drag Race.
Yeah. I feel like they have tried so many gimmicks over the year, so many ways to keep it fresh, but they actually found a really great setup to make the show feel fresh.
Oh, it was
new.
So good this season.
It was so amazing.
You know what I loved about it is it was all queens
Yes.
who have careers, great careers.
Yes.
Great personalities. They literally went into this competition to just make good TV.
Yeah, have
and
fun.
maybe win $200,000.
And I think
you felt it.
And some of them were relieved of the pressure because no one got sent home.
No, and I loved
the
that.
pressure of let me try something new. Let me try something that I've never done before. And we got to see some really innovative, creative stuff and see people flex in a different way they haven't. And it was really cool.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, even in the episode, the finale, spoiler for anybody who hasn't watched it, we're going to get into that. RuPaul, one of the queens, Shea Coulee said, RuPaul even looked like she was having a good time the whole season.
She laughed so much more than I've ever heard her laugh.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, I laughed so much. My favorite of all favorite episodes was the Snatch Game and just...
what Jinx
never
Monsoon did as Judy Garland.
Yeah, I've never seen a Snatch Game where so many people were so good.
All of them were good. Compared to the last season of the regular seasons of RuPaul, we needed it.
I mean,
we needed it.
Snatch Game can either be really great or really bad, and this was like a guidebook of how to do a Snatch Game.
They were all, even the low end of the one, they were still good.
Funny. Some
my
of them,
favorite,
they knew they were tanking, but they
know
how to make it funny.
They still entertained.
Yeah.
My favorite was the roast and Jinx Monsoon's joke about Evie Ollie's dick and doing. That had to be one of the best moments on Drag Race, where she said Evie Ollie's dick is so big. I was doing a line of coke off of it, and I had time to pause and reflect, and I realized I've become my mother. It was the best setup up the bet, and RuPaul died.
Yeah.
Even all of the roasts. The Vivian had great jokes.
Yeah.
Everybody. It was so.
Yeah.
Even Jada Essence Hall, even though she fumbled.
Yeah.
It was still endearing.
It was still funny. It was still
a great season.
A medium of what a normal season. She still did well compared to what a normal season would have done.
It was just.
Yeah.
So this finale was a RuPaul lip sync Lollapalooza for your life, death drop, clackety clack, whatever, right? Which I was like, okay, I get it.
And don't forget that she already had hers finale too.
So they gave the losers their own little lip sync battle to
which
become
was
crown
creative. I actually enjoyed watching that too.
I did too.
Yeah,
I did too. What I loved about the finale was the emotion in it.
Yes.
It just looked like they all were going to miss each other.
Yeah.
It was the last day of summer camp.
It really
You know what I
was.
mean?
Yeah.
Everybody got emotional. Everybody seemed like they just had the best time of their life.
There was no villain. No villain cut and villain edit.
Even though they tried to give the Viv
a little bit.
She, even at the end of the episode, she was just like, this has been...
Yeah.
It was just, and then on the runway, those last runways, I'm going to say though, some of them could have been a little bit of Monet Exchange.
I feel the same way too.
But everybody's getting on it on Twitter like, how dare you? It is black. And I'm like, I get that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the actual outfit. It could represent whatever. The fit was bad.
Yeah.
It was a bodysuit.
Construction, yeah.
Yeah. And just because you have that opinion, it's okay.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, some of them I was like, oh, okay, you could have done a little more. And then some were just like, Jesus Christ.
Can we talk about RuPaul and the killer clowns? Why
did that even happen?
I feel like that was like a sentence that AI created, RuPaul and killer clowns. Like, how did that even come up to be a thing?
For context, there is a part of the show where Michelle Visage tells RuPaul, I had a dream last night that you were dancing or kissing or making out or something with killer clowns. And then flashback music and waves. And then all of a sudden, RuPaul comes out to do a little 1-2 step to her new song.
And
with killer clowns.
I immediately turned to Caesar and I go, uh-oh, somebody said there is not enough content for an hour. We got to stretch this out.
That was like stretching that taffy long and hard. Because I love that Ru doing, she tried to boogie on down. I was like, she gonna break a hip. She gonna break a hip.
It was so bizarre.
It was so weird. It was so weird. I loved it. It was like a fever dream. It was one of my fever dreams from having COVID. I swear to God.
It really was.
You know what for all of you who haven't seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space, I was like, please let it be the Killer Clowns from Outer Space as her background dancers. How amazing would that be? And then they shoot her with a gun and she turns into cotton candy and then that's the end of it.
I would have loved that.
I would have
loved
been
that. Amazing.
Okay, so they did that. I do want to say one thing about RuPaul's Drag Race. The fandom, some of you fans out there, you are brutal. You are brutal because the week before we had the variety show, which everybody did amazing on it, I felt. I absolutely agree that Shea Coulee won. Her number was so good. So like I literally downloaded the song.
Yeah.
And I was like,
the production value of that routine, like I think one of them said like that felt like something I would pay money to go see at a concert.
The other thing is when Shea Coulee, after her first season, she released an album that didn't get a lot of traction, but was so good. There were some really good songs on it. So to see her going back to, I was like, God damn it, she's good.
Yeah.
And I loved that Monet Exchange did opera.
Oh, that was so cool.
But the hate she got from all of the people, the fandom saying that it was boring, that it was this, no, we don't need that on RuPaul's Drag Race. Where's all the clackety clack? That. No, girl, you need to get back, go sit down, get some culture.
Yeah. I love that the voice didn't match the outfit, and
I
loved how like
following
inconsistent
Monet,
it was to each other.
I love following Monet Exchange's career and on social media, knowing that she is a classically trained opera singer. That this time around she was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it."
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, I
loved it.
Yeah.
But for the finale, so they do the lip syncs. What did you think of the Shari with her bears lip syncs and who won? So spoiler, Raja won the whole
Raja
lip sync.
won. I was actually surprised that Raja won.
Wasn't.
But if I look over the overall between the actual lip syncs itself, I don't think Raja was the better lip singer.
But RuPaul
overall
said,
as a season,
even at the end, we're taking into consideration the whole season.
You can tell that was a cutaway and added later because the vocal sounded different from when she says that.
I was just gonna point that out.
Like, and I like turned to Caesar and I was like, God damn it! They just gave a spoiler of who it is right now. They just told me who won. God damn it!
I'm glad you picked up on that.
Yeah, I always hear stuff like that.
I love that. So Raja is the only Asian queen to ever win RuPaul's Drag Race.
Very cool.
And she won twice now. She won that one. And I love that the OG queens, like the oldest queen, not age-wise, but the ones on the show who have done the early seasons were the ones who won.
You're right.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, and for all of you who love, you probably already heard this if you're a big RuPaul fan. The Trinity the Tuck did a live performance. I want to say it was in Texas, and she was answering audience questions, and she spilled the tea about the backstage stuff that happened during RuPaul's Drag Race. Did you
what
hear about
happened?
this?
No.
Oh my God! So she said that they actually did get not horrible critiques, but they were critiqued by the judges on some of, for most of the challenges and whatever. But there was an instance between Raja and Michelle Visage where Michelle Visage went after her look, and Raja came back at Michelle Visage and said, "Who are you? Who are you to judge fashion? You're just the host of this show's best friend. What are your credentials?" And then later, Trinity said that she had gone backstage and was like, "I want her fired," and like just had it with Michelle Visage for critiquing her, and was like, "What are your credentials, Michelle?"
And really, hers are not supposed to be fashion. It's really more the music and performance, which is still even questionable. I've seen her music videos.
But I thought Raja's fashion through the whole thing.
Raja's fashion was
insane.
So everything I saw just looked so expensive and professional and new, something I'd never seen on the runway before, which was really cool to see.
It was fun watching them all lip sync against each other because it just felt like they were like, who fucking cares who wins? We all had a great time.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, so the one who won, the queen of all queens, was Jinx Monsoon, which if you looked at Twitter and Instagram and social, when they said vote for your favorite queen, most of the queens were around like 50, 60 likes on there or whatever. Jinx Monsoon had 140 likes on her post. Yeah, for vote for the queen you like. So she was an audience favorite. And you got to be honest, she killed it during the season.
Yeah,
she killed it.
So funny. And
where's her TV show? Where's like, when is she going to get cast and stuff?
Well, I think we saw a side of Jinx that I have never seen, because I remember watching her season. She was so anxious and so nervous and stressed out. She was still great, but she was never relaxed in her actual season. Right. But to see her in this season, and she's just like, well, whatever happens is gonna happen, but I'm gonna beat you all.
And her like quirkiness
and her laughter and her jokes. She was so calm and just that she was able to tap into like her comedy so much more than she did in her own season.
It was great.
Yeah.
The one thing through the season that really got me, the one moment was Evie Oddly when they did the variety show, and she said this was just an homage to what I'm not going to be able to do anymore as a drag queen because of her illness. And that was like, that must suck being as young as you are, knowing your body is changing and it's not going to be able to handle. And how she said at this point, standing in heels is even painful. And I'm a drag queen.
Yeah.
I was like, God, poor Evie.
I know.
And I love that she represents all the queerdo weirdos.
Yeah.
And all of that. It was a great season.
Such a great season.
Such a good season.
Yeah. So much fun watching it.
So since we're talking gay icons and gayness, did you hear the other news about Britney Spears?
No, I did not. I'm trying to think. What is it?
Eric, you've been living under a rock?
Yeah, maybe a
so
little
Britney
bit.
Spears is going to be making her comeback to music, doing a duet with a very big gay icon, Elton John. They're doing a remake of Tiny Dancer.
Wow.
Britney and Elton. I'm glad Britney needs to go back to music now that she's a free woman and she seems happy.
She does seem very happy.
I know
I'm
you
a little,
and your Britney.
I'm a little worried about what we're going to get.
I don't care. It's still going to be amazing.
Because everything that everyone's loved for this many years has been so manufactured. I don't know what we're going to get.
Oh, it's so exciting.
I'm excited.
I am too.
I'm a little nervous.
But they're working on a remake of Tiny Dancer. I thought that was just so cool. Like you have two of the biggest gay icons going to work together finally.
Yeah. It'll be
great.
It'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
It really is. The last thing I want to cover is a new TV show that just came out that hit a little too close.
Nothing to do
me.
with your life.
Not at all. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but a new show came out called Uncoupled, starring Neil Patrick Harris.
Yes.
Written by Darren Star, the same writer I want to say as Sex and the City. And Tisha Campbell is in the show. I was religious about with Hanging with Mr. Cooper and the Martin Lawrence show.
Yeah.
And she was in this little show back in the day called Rags to Riches.
I remember that show. I do remember that.
Rags to Riches. It was about these little orphans who do music, and it was so good. But that's when I first remembered Tisha Campbell, and I've been a fan of her.
She hasn't been in anything in a long time.
So the premise for Uncoupled is about gay men pretty much in their 40s, but it's Neil Patrick Harris is in a relationship for 17 years with an older man who's turning 50. On his 50th birthday, he breaks up with Neil Patrick Harris, and he is thrown back into single life as a 40-something-year-old man in New York, gay. I related to this because, as you know, I ended a very long relationship. And going back into the single gay man in your 40s, like they said, you're invisible.
In the show, they were together 17 years.
17 years.
So he doesn't know what Grindr is. He doesn't know what all those apps are.
It was very interesting because, like they said, once you're over 40 in the gay community, you're dead. You're invisible, I mean. I was like, God, you don't know how true that is as a single 40-something-year-old? For me, at least.
I don't think so. I don't know. When I turned 40, I feel like I came into my power.
How old are you now?
I'm going to be 42 in January.
Yeah, I'm 40, going to be 46. Yeah, we're a little different, bitch. Once you hit your mid-40s.
Maybe that's
I watched the first episode. I was like, is this Sex in the City for the gays?
Is it?
I was like, is Neil Patrick Harris the new Sarah Jessica Parker? Is he the new Carrie, but a little better?
Interesting. I didn't look at it that way.
That's how I was like. I will say this: Tisha Campbell is going to be my favorite.
I'm
character.
So excited.
I was like, oh, so good. I'm so glad she's back on TV. It has potential. I loved how spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the first episode, I've only watched the first episode, how she calls, because you could tell Tisha Campbell's character and Neil Patrick Harris, they work together as realtors. They're obviously really good friends. That's his girl pal. She calls him and says, I know where he's living and who he's living with. And I was like, ooh, I know what I'm doing tonight. I'm getting high. I'm watching the rest of this series. What did you think of Uncoupled? Because you only saw the trailer.
Right. I'm really excited about it. I love the premise of it.
Yeah.
I love that we have another gay TV show that's like another story, a different story that we kind of haven't heard before.
Yeah.
And it's on Netflix, which I think is just cool. Like,
mainstream.
My only one issue is I have one. Do we need another white
lead.
cis.
Yeah, that was
male.
mine too. I was
Yeah,
like,
he's
why
gay.
isn't he not Latino?
I said the same thing. Why isn't he black or Latino? I would love to
No,
hear that.
Latino. We have the
Yeah.
other representation. I want a Latino gay.
I would love to hear that story. I just feel like we've have so many
Yeah.
viewpoints from
The other
from
others,
a
yeah.
white male.
Yeah.
We need something.
It was the
else.
same thing with the whole Marvel universe because, Comic-Con was in town, right? So they released a lot of the Marvel stuff. And I was talking to one of my friends about this, actually the kid. And I was like, we have the new Black Panther coming out, which looks so fucking good. Everything. But I'm like, wait a minute. Where is the Latino representation? Why is there no Latino superhero getting their own movie? Even though I know American Chavez got our very first premiere in the news Doctor Strange movie, which I was ecstatic that they brought that character into the Marvel universe, because all you comic book nerds know that American Chavez is like one of the only Latino-based superheroes in the Marvel universe. So I'm hoping she gets her own spinoff. That was your nerd corner for a minute.
Yeah, my eyes glazed over. I was like, these are just words. I have no idea what they mean.
But I am definitely going to watch the rest of Uncoupled, and we will talk about it next week for sure. You know what? This is going to throw you for a loop, but we haven't done...
Really quick before you move on, I just saw that Harlem Season 2 is coming soon. I know.
We talked about this before on the show. If you're not watching Harlem on, is it
Prime? Amazon. Yeah.
This first season, it is literally Sex in the City, but for non-white people.
Yeah.
We talked about it. I love that show. The first season was amazing.
One more other plug.
What?
Only Murders in the Building Season 2.
Only Murders in the
with Selena Gomez.
Oh,
and
the
Martin
podcast
Short.
one. Yes, I haven't watched
season two. Is I was like, this is gonna be lame. It's gonna be the same thing over. No, I'm still just as like entertained, and it's cute and it's stupid and silly and as funny as first season. Loving it. Loving it. Yeah.
I got to start that because the first season was great. If you guys have not watched that, go watch it. It's a recommendation from us.
Yeah, season 2 is just as good. Yeah,
because you have two comedy geniuses, Martin Short and Steve Martin.
Yeah,
and then you throw Selena Gomez with her deadpan monotone. It works for some reason. The three of them, the chemistry is so bizarrely entertaining. Am I wrong?
It's so true. They're so weird. Selena Gomez with the two of them seems so odd, but it is so good.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's based off a podcast, so.
Yeah. True.
But you guys, we did it. That's our show for the week, dude.
Wow.
I know. That was a fast one. How do people find you, Eric?
You can find me on Instagram at DaddyBearEric.
Yeah, there you go. You can follow the show. We are Who Invited Her _podcast on Instagram. We're Who Invited Her SD on Facebook and Twitter. What else am I missing? Oh, you can always email us at the gang at whoinvitedher.net. We will be back next week.
Yes.
I think it's just us next week.
With
Bryn.
A few more weeks till vacation.
I know. Then we're going to be off. Our last show is the 13th of August, and then we're not going to be back till October.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, you can follow me at Sony_Baloney_macaroni. I know, I forget everything because I've been drinking. But you guys, that is it for us. We will see everybody next week. Bye.